There are over 10 plus characters who appeared only one time in Miraculous Ladybug, and today I am going to explain every one of them. Starting with Alex, also known as Bunnex, who made her first time appearance in the episode named Time Tagger. In this episode, Alex's younger version temporarily gets the Rabbit Miraculous. The reason this happens is because Ladybug and Cat Noir were fighting a villain named Time Tagger.
I'm Time Tagger from the future, man! I crisscross time with a spray paint can!
Who is actually a future version of Nino. Since he's using time travel, Ladybug needs someone who can also use time powers. That's when future Bunnex shows up and says she can't intervene too much in the past. So instead, she gives the Rabbit Miraculous to her younger self, basically bringing her into the fight. That's how young Alex becomes Bunnex. She uses the burrow to help chase Time Tagger across different timelines alongside Ladybug and Cat Noir. Now, this episode is actually really important in the broader story. First, it's the official introduction of time travel in the show through the Rabbit Miraculous. It also shows us that Alex is destined to become Bunnex in the future, which does happen later. The episode even reveals that Hawk Moth still exists in the future and keeps passing on the Butterfly Miraculous to new users, like future Nino. There's also the first big hint that things won't stay the same for the heroes, like when Time Tagger tells Ladybug, "You'll lose everything," which becomes relevant in later seasons. Next up, we have two characters, mainly the Rooster and the Goat Miraculous holders. They happens to be appeared in the same episode named Penal Team. So here's what happens. Monarch steals this really important book from Ladybug. It's the Grimoire, basically the book that has all the secrets about the Miraculouses. Ladybug needs a team to help get it back without Monarch catching on, so she puts together a special squad. And guess who she picks? Mark and Nathaniel. Ladybug gives Mark the Rooster Miraculous and he becomes Rooster Bold. The Rooster power is kind of wild. It lets you choose any super ability you want by saying it out loud. Literally anything. But the catch is, you have to truly believe in it for it to work. So it's all about confidence and trusting your instincts. Mark's always been uncertain and quiet, so this power really forces him to step out of his comfort zone. In the episode, he ends up choosing the power of invisibility, and it actually works because he believes in it. It's a big character moment for him. Nathaniel, on the other hand, gets the Goat Miraculous and becomes Capra Kid. His power is called Genesis. He can create any object he imagines as long as it's not alive. It appears as this glowing pink bubble and then materializes. Because Nathaniel's an artist, he's super good at visualizing things, so this power suits him perfectly. In the episode, he creates this giant slingshot, and it's actually really smart. It helps them sneak past Monarch's defenses. What's cool is how they work together. Mark comes up with the ideas and strategy, and Nathaniel brings them to life. They basically do what they already do in real life. Mark writes the story, Nathaniel draws it, but now with actual superpowers. You can tell they trust each other a lot. If you are enjoying the video so far, then be sure to subscribe and like the video. Anyway, the episode itself is a nice break from the usual Paris destruction chaos. It's more like a stealth mission. The whole team is trying to trick Monarch, and these two play a big role. They're not the flashy, punchy type of heroes, but they get the job done through creativity and teamwork. It's honestly really satisfying to finally see them get recognized. They've always been kind of background characters, but this episode gives them space to shine in a way that fits their personalities. Moving on, next in the list we have the Monkey Miraculous. The Monkey Miraculous is a gold circlet, kind of like a headband, but it's inspired by the Monkey King from Chinese mythology. When it's not in use, the Miraculous hides itself. For Kim, it usually looks like a pair of swimming earplugs. Orange and blue at first, then red with a white stripe from season 6. Pretty random, but I guess it matches his whole sporty swimmer vibe. When he transforms, he becomes King Monkey. The cool thing about this Miraculous is that it gives you a ton of physical powers, like you can run super fast, jump crazy high, and basically move like a monkey. You can even run on all fours, which Kim totally uses to his advantage. He also becomes super strong and tough, almost invincible. His main weapon is this golden staff called the Ruyi Jingu Bang. It's unbreakable and does a bunch of stuff. It can stretch, be used like a phone, help you travel, and even let you breathe underwater. And then there's his special power called Uproar. When he uses it, he summons this goofy looking toy item, and if it touches someone, it messes up their powers temporarily. It's meant to confuse or disarm villains, not hurt them. But once he uses it, he only gets like 5 minutes before his transformation starts running out. Unless the user is an adult, then they can stay transformed longer. Kim got the Miraculous from Ladybug when she was picking a team, and honestly, it suits him. He's wild, unpredictable, and super confident, kind of like the Monkey King himself. There's even a fun detail where the circlet shows time by turning the gold bands black. Each band is about a minute. Also, there's been other holders in history too, like Sun Wukong, the legendary Monkey King, and even this ninja named Sasuke Sarutobi. Marinette also held it briefly, but never used it, and of course, Gabriel Agreste got it for a while when he had all the Miraculouses, but that was part of his usual villain stuff. Anyway, King Monkey's role isn't always huge, but when Kim shows up, he brings that chaotic good energy. He's not the planner like Ladybug, but he's he's got that instinct and power that makes him a fun part of the team when things get worse. Next up, we have the Ox Miraculous. In Season 6 of Miraculous, we finally get a full episode focused on Ivan and his dad, Rawl. The episode opens with a flash-forward idea about Rawl plotting a big heist at the Louvre. He's set to steal the Mona Lisa. But Ivan's already showing he's conflicted because his dad has a shady past, and Ivan doesn't want to follow in those footsteps. Meanwhile, Marinette and Adrien are helping set up a concert for Mayor Bustier at the Kitty Section rehearsal studio. Marinette discovers an old letter from Gabriel that hints Adrien's dad wanted him to inherit Monarch's mission. Pretty heavy stuff. When Ivan walks away from the rehearsal, angry at his dad, he finds a letter for Rawl telling him he won't help with the heist. Rawl freaks out and gets acclimatized. Chrysalis turns him into a stone bull villain who uses a whip to turn people into stone. Ivan then gets support from Ladybug and Cat Noir. He's torn and even gives up the Ox Miraculous at first, feeling like he doesn't deserve to be a hero because of his dad. But after Ladybug encourages him, telling him he's better than Rawl, he reclaims the Miraculous and transforms back into Ox Miraculous user to rescue his father and the city. During the final showdown in the sewers, he uses his strength and resistance to block Rawl's whip attacks, break the Akuma lens, and protect civilians. Ladybug then purifies the Akuma, and Ivan talks to his dad, convincing him to stay in the rehabilitation program instead of going back to prison. At the concert, Juleka and Rose perform solo while Ivan joins the others. Meanwhile, the episode ends with a twist. Natalie is part of a secret cabal aiming to grab Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculouses for their perfect world plan. Next, we have the Pig Miraculous, also known as Pagella. It was given to Rose by Ladybug, appearing in the episode named Guilt Trip. Here, we finally get to see Rose transform into a miraculous holder, and it's honestly one of the more emotional ones. It starts off in science class where Rose sneezes and the whole class just sort of freaks out. They treat her like she's super fragile. That's when we find out that Rose actually has a chronic illness, something she had confided in her best friend, Juleka. But Juleka, trying to help, told the others about it without asking Rose first. Even though she meant well, she ends up feeling really guilty about it. That guilt builds up to the point where Shadow Moth takes advantage and akumatizes her into Reflecta again. But this time, he also creates a senti monster called Guilt Trip, which traps everyone, Ladybug, Cat Noir, the entire class, inside this weird emotional bubble filled with guilt. Everyone inside starts getting overwhelmed by their own regrets and mistakes. It's pretty intense. But then Rose steps up. Even without powers, she starts comforting everyone and reminding them of the good they've done. She doesn't give up, and her hope ends up being super inspiring. That's when Ladybug decides to give her the Pig Miraculous, and Rose transforms into Pagella. Her power is called Gift, and when she uses it, she shows someone the one thing they deeply wish for. It's not an attack or anything. It's super wholesome. She uses it on Reflecta, and that helps Juleka remember why she did what she did in the first place. She just wanted her friend to be treated normally. The emotional grip Guilt Trip had starts to break, and with Pagella's help, Ladybug is able to purify the Akuma and the Amok. The whole class is freed, and everything goes back to normal. At the end, Ladybug tells Rose that she didn't need powers to be a hero. Her kindness and courage were already enough. Moving to the next Miraculous, which is Purple Tigress, who happens to appear only 3 times in the entire series so far. Okay, so Juleka's first time becoming Purple Tigress happens in the episodes called Crocoduel. In this one, Ladybug has to face 2 akumatized villains at once, Captain Hardrock and Guitar Villain, who also happen to be Juleka's parents. So yeah, that's personal for her. Marinette realizes she needs extra help, and that's when she gives the Tiger Miraculous to Juleka. When Juleka puts it on and says the transformation phrase "stripes on," she turns into Purple Tigress. Her suit is bold and feline-like, and she gets this heavy gauntlet weapon to use in battle. It matches her kind of quiet but fierce personality really well. Her power is called Clout. Basically, she charges up this powerful ground-pounding punch that can smash through objects or knock back enemies. It's all brute strength, and when she uses it, it creates shock waves. It's a one-time move per transformation though, like most Miraculous powers, and after that, there's a 5-minute countdown before she de-transforms. Now, after her debut in Crocoduel, she doesn't immediately reappear as Purple Tigress for a while, but then we see her again in the episode Confrontation in Season 5. This is during the time when Hawkmoth has reforged the Miraculouses into Alliance rings. The Tiger Miraculous is one of those reforged ones. So instead of being handed the actual bracelet, Juleka activates the Miraculous power through her Alliance ring. She joins Ladybug and other holders as part of the resistance team fighting Monarch's forces. Even though she's still not a frontline character like Ladybug or Reina Rouge, you can tell she's more confident and reliable now. Like, she's matured into her role and the others trust her with big missions. Then finally, in episode Recreation, after the whole chaos with Monarch ends and the miracle box is recovered in and restored, Yulika gets the Tiger Miraculous back properly, so she becomes a permanent part of the team from that point on. As of now in Season 6, she's part of the new wave of official permanent heroes under Ladybug's leadership. She's still the calm one in the group, but when she's in Tigress mode, she hits hard and holds her ground. Moving on, we have the Mouse Miraculous, and the holder is Mylene. Her first appearance as a superhero is in the episode Mega Leech. The situation in Paris gets super chaotic because of these clone-like leeches multiplying everywhere, basically trying to force people to agree with a green energy initiative in a really twisted way. Ladybug's overwhelmed, and she needs someone who can think fast and handle multitasking. That's when she picks Mylene. At first, Mylene's scared, which totally makes sense. I mean, who wouldn't be? But then she just takes a breath and goes, "I'm not scared. I can do this." It's such a powerful moment because you can literally see her growth in that one sentence. She transforms into Polymouse using the Mouse Miraculous and the Kwami Mullo. The phrase she uses is Mullo, get squeaky. Pretty cute in my opinion. Now, as Polymouse, her main power is super unique. It's called Multitude, and it lets her split into multiple tiny versions of herself. It's not just for show either. She uses it really smartly in battle, especially when coordinating attacks or sneaking around. She basically becomes a one-woman team. After that episode, she doesn't show up too often, but she does come back in The Last Day, Part 2 in Season 5 during that big final Miraculous holder team up. And again, she's actually really reliable and calm, which shows how far she's come from her timid self in Season 1. As of now, she's not a permanent hero like Ladybug or Cat Noir, but she's definitely part of the wider Miraculous team that Ladybug can count on in emergencies. Next up, we have the Dog Miraculous, also known as Miss Hound. Sabrina is basically the user of this Miraculous. Her first time transforming is in the Season 5 episode. She becomes Miss Hound with enhanced tracking and sniffing powers. She's using her heightened sense of smell to track down sneakers that people lost. Ironic since normal Miss Hound uses a ball to fetch anything. Later on, in Pennell Team, Sabrina finally becomes the heroic Miss Hound when Ladybug gives her the Dog Miraculous. She steps up as a real ally in a big soccer match. Her power, Fetch, lets her retrieve any object her special ball has touched, which is super handy for rescuing people and equipment. And she doesn't just fetch junk, she uses it cleverly to call in help from other heroes. Over time, Sabrina grows from being Chloe's clingy sidekick into a trusted member of Ladybug's team. She even evolves into a permanent hero by Season 6. Alright, if you are still enjoying, go and subscribe to the channel for more Miraculous content. Anyway, moving on, we have the Pegasus Miraculous. It all kicks off during a school field trip, a train that suddenly blasts into space because of an Akuma who turns the conductor's dream into reality. Things get dangerous, temperatures drop, and people start freezing. Max's mom is on the train too, and she gets akumatized into this villain. Ladybug needs help rescuing everyone, especially his mom. She trusts Max with the Horse Miraculous, which he transforms into by saying full gallop and becomes Pegasus. His power is called Voyage, which basically means he can open teleportation portals. He uses it to teleport the train back into Earth's atmosphere and safely home. His costume is cool. He gets horse-shaped glasses and a horseshoe weapon, and he's super agile and strong. After that, he becomes one of Ladybug's trusted heroes. In Season 5, when all the Miraculous get reforged into alliance rings, he's still part of the team. Later, in Recreation, Ladybug restores the original Horse Miraculous and gives it back to Max permanently. Now in Season 6, he's been training and can use his powers without immediately de-transforming after teleporting, so he's way more reliable in long battles. Right now, he's established as a smart, dependable hero, great when it comes to quick rescues or tricky moves with his teleportation. Not flashy, but definitely crucial when Ladybug needs someone fast and resourceful. Next, we have the Bee Miraculous, also known as Vesperia. So Vesperia is Zoe Lee's superhero identity when she uses the Bee Miraculous, which is connected to the kwami named Pollen. The Bee Miraculous gives her the power of subjection, which lets her paralyze a target with a sting using her spinning top. It's basically a more refined version of what Queen Bee used to do. Zoe first becomes Vesperia in Season 4, Episode 15, which is titled Queen Banana. Before that, the Bee Miraculous was held by Chloe Bourgeois, who went by Queen Bee. But after repeatedly breaking trust and even siding with Hawk Moth at one point, Ladybug decided Chloe could no longer be trusted with a Miraculous. So when a new threat comes along and Ladybug needs someone reliable, she chooses Zoe. At first, Zoe struggles with feeling like she's replacing her own half-sister Chloe. It's a really emotional shift because she wants to do the right thing, but she doesn't want to hurt Chloe either. But she accepts the role and proves herself worthy. Her calm and humble attitude is the exact opposite of Chloe's arrogance, and it's what Ladybug needs in a teammate. After her debut, Vesperia continues to appear throughout Season 4 and Season 5. She becomes one of the regular heroes Ladybug calls on for help in the larger battles. Unlike Chloe, Zoe never tries to steal the spotlight. She supports the team, helps fight akumatized villains, and always stays level-headed in a crisis. As of now, Zoe is still the current B Miraculous holder. Chloe hasn't been given it back, and honestly, it doesn't look like she ever will, at least not in the same way. Vesperia's role has grown quietly but steadily. She might not always be front and center, but whenever she's around, she's reliable and composed, a steady presence in the series. There are many more other characters that appeared only times, such as White Cat, also known as Cat Blanc, Future Ladybug, and Cat Noir, and many more alternate variants and other characters, but we will talk about those in a different video.